Hey there, this is Sober Steve. My name's Steve Truesdell. Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm in sobriety. I've been in sobriety for 23 years. And I decided to do these videos because over time, so many people have asked me, like, hey, how did you do it? And, they want advice for themselves or their loved ones. And so I think I've done maybe 13 of these. And I was kind of losing my steam here the last couple of weeks and decided I didn't want to do them for a little while. And I took a couple weeks off and was considering just stopping them all together because I have 12 or 13 uploaded and I feel like, I could repeat myself. But I don't know if it's a sign or whatever, but this morning I got up and two separate people had reached out to me that I don't know, that I've never met in real life, asking for advice and saying that they appreciated what I was doing. And that fueled the tank, and I decided to do it, So I really appreciate that because sometimes, I'm just talking into this camera and, I know a couple handfuls of people will watch them, but, I don't want to waste my time or theirs if it's not helpful. So it's nice to know that it is. And anyway, that's all with that. So back on the horse. I have a Twitter that I started that's just, it's a Sober Steve Twitter. I think it's Sober Steve at Clean Life is Good. I think is the @ but and I know I have a lot of friends that follow me on Twitter as Wolverine Steve. Not that creative with my Twitter names, Wolverine Steve, Sober Steve. But I've been reading a lot on Twitter on the recovery posts and it's a whole different group of people for the most part than the sports Twitter that I'm somewhat addicted to, and it's been very interesting to me. And I've met some friends. A lot of people from the United Kingdom. And I think that's very cool. So just having some correspondence back and forth. But last week I was on there and a gentleman had posted, replied to one of my tweets. And I'm going to paraphrase what he said here because it really made me think. It really resonated with me. But he said, I am angry at myself. I'm angry that I have this condition. I'm angry that it overtook me. Speaking of alcoholism. And that really, there's in those 3 lines, I could probably talk for a half an hour because these are the kinds of feelings that you go through, especially early on in recovery. And the first one, I'm angry at myself, I completely understand. I think we get angry at the behavior that we exhibit when we're alcoholics. But he's saying he's angry at himself that he has this condition. And I want to address that because you didn't choose this condition, so don't be angry at yourself about it. You were chosen. You did not choose it. Nobody chooses to be an alcoholic. Our behavior and our drinking patterns can contribute to the severity of our disease. But look, there's people in the medical profession out there that think that, it's primarily genetics and hereditary. I don't know what the exact science is on it, but I personally believe it's primarily a predisposition, whether it's in your genetics or whatever. I mean, I believe that because for me it was, because as I mentioned on my earlier video, when I talked about when I started drinking, I was 12 or 13 years old, and the first time I drank, I could feel it. It felt good. It was like feeding the beast, and I never, from a very young age, it was never about having a drink. It was about getting drunk and just having as much as I could have my fill, and I think that it's important that people early in recovery realize if they have these emotions at all, it's not your fault. It's not your fault at all. Do not feel guilty for being an alcoholic. Do not waste an ounce of breath feeling guilty for being an alcoholic. You did not choose it. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have remorse for your behavior. It doesn't mean that you haven't made mistakes and done, terrible things, some people, but don't feel guilty for being an alcoholic because you can't help that. Now, here's what I've said before and what I strongly believe. Once you actually know you're an alcoholic, if you know that and you're willing to speak that out loud, I'm an alcoholic. Once you know you have that problem, now it's your responsibility to do something about it. It really is, because I've said this before, but if you were diagnosed with cancer, would you just sit tight? No, you wouldn't. I mean, I guess some people do that when they're very old or elderly and they say they don't want to fight it, but I gotta believe 98% of all people that learn that they have cancer will do whatever treatment the medical profession recommends that they do. They'll want to treat that cancer. They'll get help for their cancer, because cancer is a disease and cancer can kill them. Well, alcoholism is a disease and alcoholism can kill you. So you should be getting some help. If you know that you have this issue, you should be getting help. That's the only way. I mean, I don't want to sound preachy, but I did the games. I know the thought process. I'm going to cut down. I can only do Tuesday. Well, I'm not that bad. This guy's worse. This lady drinks more than me. I don't drink in the morning. I don't drink at work. It doesn't matter. If you know you have that problem, there's no magic wand. You're not going to undo it. It's unfortunately, it's a condition that you're going to have. And the sooner that you can come to grips with that and make the decision to get help, the sooner your life's going to be better off and could be on the path to better than you could ever freaking imagine. So that just got me thinking about the anger of having alcoholism. And I think, sometimes it's the way we look at things. Wayne, I don't know anybody who's ever watched Wayne Dyer, who's the late Wayne Dyer. I really got a lot out of some of his, audio recordings and some of his books. But the favorite, most simplistic thing that he ever said that is in my head all the time is change the way you look at things and the things you look at will change. And I strongly believe that. You can look at the positive, you can look at the negative of any situation, really. I mean, virtually any situation. Even tragedies in life, we grow through, we learn things, we develop. I'm a different person after I went into recovery, and I'm a better person. I'm a different person after my divorce, and I'm a better person. I'm a different person after my mom died, and I think I'm a better person. And so you can grow through those tragedies. And, if you're an alcoholic and you can remain sober through those things, man, it teaches you so much, because if you can get yourself through those painful, strong emotions and let yourself feel them and just feel real life, and just be vulnerable, just be who you are. If people don't like it, that's their problem, and I'm rambling. I always do that, but God, it's frustrating to me, because there's so many great people out there that are alcoholics, and their lives could be so much happier, so much better, so much healthier. Their kids' lives could be better because of it. Their spouses, their employers, their friends, by making that decision. And I know we've talked about, like, there's a lot of people that are really anti-AA, and I get that. And there are a lot of people that are in AA that think that's the only way, and I get that. It's a great organization, and it's been proven over the test of time. But I think there's more than one way to skin a cat. I think that everybody's got to choose their own path. I will never tell somebody how they should go about something, but I do believe you need some kind of help, whether it's therapy, group sessions, get 3-4 sober friends where you talk. That's basically what happens in AA, whatever it takes, but you need to get that help, and you'll be on your way. But get rid of the anger. Don't waste time. Don't waste time like this. This is a waste of energy, and don't let anybody tell you should feel guilty or bad that you're an alcoholic, because you didn't choose it. Anybody that thinks that you chose to be an alcoholic, they got their own issues. Because, if they thought about it, who would choose to be an alcoholic? You might choose to drink. You might choose to drink every day. You might choose to drink every hour. You might choose to get drunk every day. You might turn into a real ass when you're drinking. Those are all things that people around you should be upset about, but not the fact you're an alcoholic. That's just those other things are symptoms, and they're unfortunate ones. But, the disease, it's termed a disease by the medical profession for a reason, because it is. And I've said I'm going to leave you on this. This is redundant, but I'm so passionate about this. We are so fortunate as alcoholics because we literally have the only disease we can make a choice and go into remission. A choice. We don't have to go to chemo every week. We don't have to go to radiation every day. We don't have to have surgery. We don't have to do shit except make a decision that we're not going to drink anymore. And then however we go about it, you know, that's our medicine. You know, for me, it was therapy, rehab, AA. For others, it might just be therapy. You know, it might be counseling mixed with, you know, another sobriety group. It could be, maybe it's all faith-based, you know. There's a lot of that in AA. Maybe it's AA and your pastor. I don't know. But that's all we have to do, you know. And we don't have to say, I'm never going to drink the rest of my life. We don't have to do that. We have to say, I'm going to make a choice to not drink today. I can do that. Anybody can get through a day. Anybody can get through a day. And if you can't get through a day, anybody can get through an hour. And if you can't get through an hour, anybody can get through a minute. And that's how we do it. That's how it's done. A minute at a time, a day at a time. And, you know, you put one after another, it generally gets easier. And your life generally gets a lot more rewarding. But guess what? One day, I'm in remission. My disease is in remission. You might have some withdrawals. You know, there's definitely some mental withdrawal and psychological withdrawals you're going to go through, and it's challenging. It's hard. Trust me. I mean, I know how hard it is. I did it, you know, and I failed at it before I succeeded. But just imagine somebody with Parkinson's disease or leukemia or MS being told, you just have to choose to not do this and you're in remission. That would be the biggest godsend any of those people could ever get. That would be the biggest reward they could ever get. And we are lucky because this is a disease we got. And we can make that choice. So anyway, that's it. I was a little preachy. I'm fired up today. I appreciate those people that reached out to me because, damn it, if 3 people get sober, God, that changes. I mean, you're going to change 3 families. You could change 6 families out of that. Do it. Do it. Email is soberstevechannel@gmail.com. Message me, text me, message me on Twitter, Facebook Messenger. If you have my cell phone, call me. I will help anybody, anytime, to the best of my ability. And I appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel because I want to grow this. And it's a simple hit the subscribe button. So thanks for your time. We'll see you again soon.